Welcome back, everyone. Part 2 of our Cabral HouseCalls are here. We're answering our community's questions like we do every Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully you tuned into yesterday's show, which was episode 2276. If you didn't get a chance, all podcasts are always archived at stephencabral.com/podcasts, and you can actually search for any topic you would like. So before submitting your question for these weekend house calls, always feel free to either ask it inside cabralsupportgroup.com, our free Facebook group, private group, or you can search it right at stephencabral.com/podcasts. But nevertheless, we will make sure that your questions get answered. Wait time now is about 10 weeks from when you ask a question for Ask Cabral. And that is why I don't want you to wait unless you absolutely feel you have to. All right. So to get same day answers to your questions, ask them right at stephencabral.com. Ask them right at cabralsupportgroup.com, or head on over and search for yourself right at stephencabral.com/podcast. Let's dive into today's show. First question is from AFAF. AFAF. I apologize if it was mispronounced, but AFAF says, greetings. Could you kindly answer an inquiry for my dad who was diagnosed with prostate cancer? He's 78, he's 5'10", he weighs 150 pounds. The biopsy shows, let's see, cancer, no other organ damaged along with the bones. Doctor advised to start radiotherapy and hormone therapy. My inquiry is related to prostate support supplementation, as I would like to know if it's compatible with the treatment he is about to start. Can he take the supplements while he's ongoing treatment? Otherwise, should these supplements be taken prior to the start of the treatment? When and what is the best time frame to take these? Many thanks for your advice. Okay, happy to help without a doubt. I'm always here to help. But when this person has adenocarcinoma, prostatic grade 4, I just have to share with you that I can't provide any medical advice, any medical treatment plans, or any medical-based cures. And so you have to listen to your PCP, your specialist, and you can always get a second opinion, all right? So again, you have to go with what your medical doctors and specialists are letting you know. And also, prostate support is not a cancer-based protocol. The advanced prostate support supplement that we have is for men who want to balance healthy levels of prostate inflammation, okay? That is, and if you read the reviews, I mean, people love it. So that is that. We wish you and your dad all the best. I'm always happy to help. I just can't give you medical advice in this particular instance. So hopefully that's helpful. Again, my recommendation, though, is to always make sure you're taking care of all of your health whenever going through cancer-based protocols. Look at your diet, look at your exercise, look at your supplementation, meditation, get your body into its healthiest state possible. All right. Xiomara is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'm a 47-year-old female. I've had sleeping issues for years now. I used to take the generic brand of Ambien that didn't make my sleeping issue any better. Every night when I put my head on the pillow, the back of my head and neck hurts to the point where I can't sleep. I feel restless. Doesn't make any sense. Saw a neurologist. They said I have occipital neuralgia. Poked me with a needle to block the nerve on the back of my head. It didn't work. I also went to pain management, prescribed medication, tried every pillow imaginable, changed my lifestyle, gluten-free, eat clean. I've eliminated processed foods and sugar from my diet. I was thinking of going to a chiropractor. Please help. Let me know what you think. All right. So I'm happy to help. So I would look at, again, no medical advice. This is what I would do. I would 100% go to a chiropractor that doesn't just do adjustments, but they know about the atlas of the head. They know about what's called the trigeminal nerve area, and they also do active release therapy or active release technique, and they work on posture. All right, we need to work on that. Okay, we absolutely need to work on that. So I would do that 100%. You might have to see multiple chiropractors, all right? But you might find a good muscular therapist. You might find a good functioning range conditionist, but they have to make sure that you're in good biomechanical alignment, all right? And that there's no blocks as well. There's no biomechanical deviations, if you want the technical term. Then I personally would want you to run the big five. I would want to make sure that you don't have too high levels of omega-6 for inflammation, which can again cause inflammatory issues. I would also want to make sure that you have enough magnesium, right? So magnesium to cool that sympathetic nervous system. There could be a blood flow issue literally when you lie down. And so for me, I'd run the big five, no doubt about it. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would run the big five. If you can't run the big five, I would at least run the starter kit and then the omega-3. And if you can't run the omega-3 because of cost, starter kit plus 2 soft gels a day of the daily omega-3 support. All of these can be found at stephencabral.com/shop or with your local integrative health practitioner. All right. Thank you for writing in. And again, write in with success stories too. We want to hear your success, or post it at cabralsupportgroup.com. All right, Amy's up next. Hello, Dr. Cabral. Thank you for all that you do. My husband has had consistently low HDL cholesterol levels, often in the low 30s. Despite a normal weight and without other risk factors, his father is deceased from a heart attack. Sisters have the same issue. The doctor would advise him to exercise more, which is ironic since my husband runs quite a bit. Having said that, my questions are, in any otherwise healthy individual, is low HDL something to be concerned about? Is it something of concern other than increasing exercise? Might there be some other ways of raising HDL despite a possible genetic connection? Thank you for all you do. Okay. Yeah, I would have to look at the entire cholesterol, what's called a lipid profile. But you can do it yourself, and I'll teach you how to do it right now. So you want to look at your total cholesterol, okay? Let's say it's 200. And then you want to look at your HDL, in this case, 30. Okay, so you're going to divide 30 into 200, and it's like what, like a 6.7 to 1 ratio or so, right? So you want that to be a 3.5 to 1 or less, okay? So that's kind of the goal, and then your HDL doesn't matter as much. You still ideally want it above a 49, but it doesn't matter as much if the ratio of total cholesterol to cholesterol is good. So that matters. So I would definitely look at that. A lot of functional medicine doctors will tell you to run your VLDL, apolipoprotein little a, little b. All of that does matter. It absolutely does matter. And so you can run an advanced lipid profile, and I don't disagree with that. But let's say you don't do that, right? The exercise I do recommend, 4 or 5 days a week. I really do recommend that. So if he's doing less than that, then that's not what he should be getting, 4 to 5 days a week. There's, again, I can't recommend alcohol, but there is some research that shows some red wine will help with HDL. I don't think that you need it, without a doubt. I'd much rather a good, healthy longevity-based protocol. I would also want to make sure that he's getting the proper sleep that he needs for HDL. Super important. We've seen amazing things with things like the Ultimate Sleep Protocol, getting in the daily foundational protocol level 2. I mean, you need to get in your omegas. Is he getting in 2 of the daily omega-3 soft gels a day? Is he getting in the daily nutritional support with all the cofactors? So there's just a lot that goes into it. And without testing every single thing, I mean, what I would do is the daily foundation protocol level 2, plus the immunity protocol, 4 or 5 days a week of exercise, 3 tablespoons of olive oil a day with lunch and or dinner, like combined, you can get that in. Good Mediterranean-based diet. Like that's what I'm doing, 100%. And then if that's still not doing it, okay, we'll start to run more of those advanced profiles. So hopefully that's helpful. Okay, Summer's up next. Hi, Doc. Question regarding EBV. I'm 32, had mono around 15. My health tanked after that until about 5 years ago. My white blood cell count, neutrophils, monocytes, all low. EBV, let's see what's going on. Working diligently for the past 5 years. I've overcome PCOS, PMD, endometriosis, H. pylori, depression, arthritis, migraines, exercise intolerance, regained energy and drive, but I still have gut and thyroid issues. I've been overdosed on bioidentical T3 for a number of years, recently weaned off. My thyroid's improved dramatically. By the time you're into this, I'll be about half done with the CBO. I guess I'm wondering, how do I know that the EBV is causing my residual health issues? Should I have addressed the EBV first instead of the gut? I've already been doing most of the things listed in episode 760, so I'm curious why my levels would still show a problem with the EBV. I've worked so hard and I feel like I can't quite get there. I'm struggling with the right order to attack the remaining problems. Thank you so much. All right, Summer. Luckily, I can tell you for sure, you've come to the right place. This is what set off my health issues when I was 17 years old. Now, there was a lot that went into it. Of course, it wasn't just EBV, but I was on antibiotics for 3 years before that, massive gut issues. I had H. pylori. I had candida overgrowth. I had SIBO. My health was a mess, like an absolute mess. So I relate to all this. I had exercise intolerance. I had POTS. I had Addison's disease. I had migraines. I had rheumatoid arthritis. I had all of these things. I didn't have PCOS. I didn't have endometriosis. I didn't have thyroid issues, but I had insomnia. I had a mastocytosis. So again, I relate. I totally understand. Here's the thing. It's good that you're not working on EBV specifically because, and I feel bad for the people being told by their, doctors to work on EBV first. No, EBV will settle itself out when the immune system gets healthy again. You cannot have a healthy immune system without having a healthy gut. So if you are continually fighting yeast and bacteria and H. pylori, your immune system's always up. Mold's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. So we need to get rid of those. We need to heal and seal the gut. Sounds like you're on the CBO protocol, which is great. And then after that, we don't have bacteria and we don't have protein seeping into our blood. Good. Run a food sensitivity test. Remove those IgG food sensitivities. Ease into exercise. Don't go all out. Just walking first. Ease your walking up. Then you're going to start to do things each day like the daily foundation protocol, level 2 or 3. You're going to use the immunity protocol most likely. You're going to slowly and gradually build your body up. Please check out my podcast on ME, myalgic encephalomyelitis, all right? Because EBV and myalgic encephalomyelitis, they're essentially one and the same. POTS, exercise intolerance, these things all go together. They're called dysautonomia. Not enough people are talking about it, but we talk about it here on the show, and for sure, you can and will get well. It's just a slower journey than most people, but you'll get there. Without a doubt, you'll get there. No doubt about it. I'm living proof. I was as bad as you get. You sound like you're in, tough shape too. Listen, I totally get it, but you'll get there. There's no doubt about it. Stick with it. It's not always easy, but as I say, it's always worth it. I have an amazing life right now, all the energy I could ever imagine, and I was once where you are, so you'll be there. Don't worry about it. All right, Chelsea's up next. And when I say don't worry about it, I'm not trying to downplay that, meaning you actually have to let that worry go. You have to let it go. You have to release all that pain you're going through right now. Release it, relax, knowing that it's only a matter of time. Every day in every way, you're getting better and better. Chelsea's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Question about coffee enemas. Does the caffeine get absorbed into the bloodstream when doing a coffee enema? Or can they be done later in the day without caffeine affecting sleep? That's a great question. We always recommend the coffee enemas to be done before 12 or 1 p.m. And the reason is some of the caffeine can be absorbed. Oftentimes, it's just a little bit, so people feel naturally then more alert and great, but it doesn't affect anxiety or doesn't affect going to sleep. However, for some people, it may. So if you're sensitive to caffeine, well, just make sure that it's you don't do it at least 6 hours before bed. So my recommendation is always before 1 p.m. That's what I always give people as a recommendation. Good question. And again, you can always modulate the coffee enema to be, we do 3 tablespoons for the one that we recommend, and that's written about in the rain barrel effect. But, you could always do 1 tablespoon to start. There's not saying that you can't do less to start if you're more sensitive. All right, we've got another question for today. It's from Isabella. Isabella, let's see what you have to say. Where does exercise fit in when you're under extreme mental and emotional stress and not getting enough sleep, only 4 to 6 hours, and still have to manage a household with kids and spouse? I try to eat well, at least 5 to 7 cups of veggies per day, lean protein, supplements with daily foundational protocol level 2, plus zinc. I usually do HIIT classes, but worry that it may just be adding more stress to my current situation. Great question. I hope this is a different one. Again, if your question wasn't answered in just a 6-week to 8-week period of time, it's not that I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to answer every question. So just make sure that you do wait. And I'm not saying this was you, Isabella, but I answered a very similar one a few weeks back. All right. So here's the way that you can tell. All right. Let me give you 2 ways. The first one is this. if you are tracking your heart rate variability, which we've talked about, was it on today's show? It was yesterday's show. All right. So you want to track ideally your heart rate variability. Your heart rate variability, you'll find a baseline after about 2 weeks. So I don't know how old you are, but let's say you're 40 years old. Okay. So if you're 40 years old and your heart rate variability is in the 30s. Okay. So if it's always in the 30s, great. But then you wake up one morning and it's a 15, like we heard yesterday. All right. On that day, you don't want to do any hard exercise. That day is just going to be for recovery, right? You'll go for a walk, you'll do some foam rolling, maybe you'll do a gentle sauna, all of that's fine. But on the days that your heart rate variability is in the 30s where your normal baseline is, all right, then you can exercise. And when your heart rate variability is a little higher that day and you're recovered and you're feeling good, well, maybe you could push yourself a little bit more. But the real problem we have here is it looks like your food's great, your overall supplementation is great, kind of your mind's in a good place. But 4 to 6 hours of sleep, it's just, that can't happen ongoing. It just can't. Like it can't, all right? And so this is kind of where that tough love has to come from, because I want the best for you. I want the absolute best for you, and you can't have that on 4 to 6 hours of sleep. We have to get more than that. We really do. And it's not always easy. I'm not saying it is. I totally understand. I've got a super busy, not job, but I'm the CEO and founder of 3 different health companies. My personal Cabral concept and, StephenCabral.com, Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, and Equal Life. I know how busy, your job and your work can be. I have 2 young children. I try to help them out in the morning. I'm always home at night. Like, I understand how busy life can be. So I totally get it. But we have to get you more sleep for you, and you'll be better for everybody else as well. So if you need to wake up at 5 a.m., the minimum you can get is 7 hours, all right? So we just work backwards. That means you can go to bed at 10 and wake up at 5, and that's 7 hours. That's not ideal. 8 is better, but at least 7, that's what you want to shoot for, all right? Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I mean, these shows fly by. Maybe they don't for you, but they do for me. So thank you so much, as always. I hope you've enjoyed your weekend, and tune back in tomorrow for our Mindset and Motivation Monday, my favorite way to start the week. Take care, everyone.